Thank you for joining us this Friday, the 5th of December. I'm Sophia with Bell Direct. This is the weekly market update. Well, Bell Potter recently released a note on emerging markets to consider, which we'll break down for you today and why it might be a good time to look closer at emerging economies. Emerging markets are expected to grow their economies faster than the developed countries that we live in. Now, while they only make up about 10% of the main global stock index, they account for 40% of the world's economic output. The difference in growth is expected to keep widening over the next 5 years, which is a big tailwind for companies that are operating in those countries. This growth is fueled by the rising middle class, especially in China. As economies rise and people move to cities, they start buying more, including consumer goods, better healthcare, and financial services like mortgages and insurance. By 2030, Asia is expected to be the home to 2/3 of the global middle class. And this is creating a large new group of consumers that are eager to spend, making these economies less reliant on what they sell to the rest of the world. Therefore, the growth story is strong for the middle term, but considering the present, Bell Potter highlights two short-term factors. The first is price. Right now, emerging market stocks are considered cheap. They are trading at a significant discount compared to developed market stocks, a discount that historical data suggests is too steep. Essentially, you can buy into the same strong earnings growth expected over the next few years, but at a much lower price. The second factor is the US dollar. When the US dollar gets weaker, which is Bell Potter's expectation over the next year, it's historically a tailwind for emerging market stocks, as a weaker dollar makes it cheaper for emerging market governments and companies to pay back their debts, often in US dollars. Now, this also gives their central banks more flexibility to support their economies. So how to get started? Well, Bell Potter has a two-part approach. A broad fund to give you exposure to the entire emerging market index. For this, they recommend the JP Morgan EM Research Enhanced Index Equity Active ETF, that's JEME. This gives you a diversified index-aware foundation. Then a targeted allocation to the area with the strongest earnings growth, and that is Asia. So they suggest the Fidelity Asia Active ETF, which is FASI. This is managed by experts on the ground to capture the best opportunities in that significant region. Now moving on to the market's performance this week so far. Well, the ASX 200 is trading flat over Monday to Thursday this week. Energy materials and utilities are the best performing sectors, while healthcare and real estate have declined the most. On the ASX 200 leaderboard, Capstone Copper, that's CSC, advanced the most as the price of copper hit a new all-time high, boosting ASX listed copper shares. Now, the price of copper has been on the rise due to potential US tariffs and increased orders at the London Metals Exchange, which has increased concerns around supply and arbitrage opportunities. Now, copper companies can benefit from rising demand due to its crucial link to the global energy transition. On the other end, AUB Group was down the most. The insurance broker was in takeover talks with EQT Holdings and CSV Limited, but there was no agreement that was made. As for the most traded stocks by Bell Direct clients this week, these include CSL and Silver Mines. Clients also bought into WiseTech and Phineas Corporation Holdings, while they took profits from BHP, Fortescue, Macquarie, Rio Tinto, CommBank, and Kingsgate Consolidated. And the most traded ETFs were the Global X Physical Silver, the Global X Physical Gold, and the Vanguard MSCI International Shares ETF. And to end on economic news items to watch out for next week, well, on Tuesday, NAB's business confidence data for November will be out at 11:30 a.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time, and at 2:30 p.m. the RBA will announce its next interest rate decision. Now, that's all for this week. I'm Sophia with Bell Direct. I hope you have a great weekend, and as always, happy trading.